Okay.
Oh, look at this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, look at that.
You can fire Chris.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. There's so much that I have to edit out because now I'm nervous and I forgot what I say now. As
That's
always,
alright,
please connect with us. All of our links are right there in the show notes, the episode description. You can join our Patreon, find us on Facebook, find us on YouTube. All that good stuff is right there. And don't forget, for the month, now until the end of November, we're going to be donating all of our Patreon money to the Gina McReynolds Foundation. They were on last week. That's teamgina.org. So jump onto Patreon so we can load them up with some money. My name is Scott. I am the host, and with me tonight, my producer, the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
I'm not going to call him Dad, even if there's a fire. You know that one?
What movies? I do. I'm not
don't know
going to call
that
him
one.
Dad.
I don't know it.
Man
I
of the
don't know.
House.
Step Brothers.
Ah,
My favorite movies of all time.
There's so much room for activity.
That's such a quotable movie.
I know. The other voice that you are hearing is here to help us out. Guest hosting duties tonight from the Diz His podcast. We've got Joe in the house. Joe, how's it going tonight, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? I don't get a nickname.
I don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe.
Maybe
Oh,
by the end
yes.
of
The man with no soul who loves to see dogs die in cinema. Turner and Hooch is his favorite movie from the Diz His podcast. Joe.
I've never said that.
You didn't
I've
have to.
Your love for animals dying in movies inspired an entire episode for us. The episode was kind of inspired by you.
Yes, that's true. I listened to that episode and it was really funny because we kind of talk about, like Chris and I, we talk about the whole ET thing where ET died in a river. Like,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
don't even remember
that.
that. Yeah, because you're just numb to drama, to just childhood drama. Just numb
Yeah,
to
he
it.
doesn't care. He loves childhood drama. In fact, he loves when the dog dies. If the parents veer off a road, he's good. He's like, oh, I want the sequel.
It's because I lived that drama. I lived it growing up.
Scott, no. I do want to bring this up. Speaking about trauma with children and stuff. I'm not a father yet, but I had a proud dad moment the other night.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I did, because I was on playing Rocket League with Joe the other night, and his son comes in the room sometimes, right?
Oh, this is terrible.
Joe's from New York, and he's a big Giants fan, and I got his son to say "Go Eagles."
Oh,
I almost wanted to unplug the microphone because I was afraid of what I was going to hear. Joe was livid.
Yeah.
Joe was threatening Nick to not let him watch the game on Thursday because he kept saying the Eagles are cooler than Giants.
Yeah, because the Giants are playing this Thursday night, right? They're playing, and so I think they're playing the Washington football team.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, and he was sitting there talking about the Eagles and how much he likes the Eagles. I was like, well, guess what? Now you're not staying up late to watch the Giants game with me.
That's awesome. My brother-in-law, my son, I'm a huge Orlando Magic fan, and I was at work and they're watching a playoff game, the Detroit Pistons versus the Miami Heat. And my brother-in-law tells my son to start saying, "Go Dwayne Wade, go Dwayne Wade." And so my son, now 21 years old, is a big Miami Heat fan.
No way.
All because when he was 3
happen
years
to
old.
me. This cannot happen to me. This is like a nightmare for me.
I heard there's a Jalen Hurts jersey in the mail already, Joe.
What's funny is, my nephew plays t-ball or baseball, or he's like, so whatever they play in the sport of baseball at that. And
T-ball.
My brother-in-law, huge Met, he's kind of instilled, so they're huge Mets fans. My sister is a Yankees fan, but she doesn't really push it because it's a big deal there. So his t-ball team this year is the Yankees. And so my brother-in-law,
really
who's
funny.
a coach,
Oh my god,
Yankees shirt, and I love it. It's so awesome.
Oh my gosh. I'm not sure if I can even do that because I'm a Mets fan, right? And I'm not sure if I can do that.
Funny you say that. Well, I was just reading an article the other day. what's his face? Ben Affleck got paid, I don't know, 30 or 40 million dollars to shoot Gone Girl, right? To star in Gone Girl.
Mhm.
And his main character was a Yankees fan, and he stopped production of the movie for 4 days because he refused to wear a Yankees hat. So they finally, because he's from Boston, so they
Right.
finally settled, and they settled, and he was allowed to wear a Mets hat instead of a Yankees hat.
Oh wow.
That's pretty awesome. That's a funny
So
story.
that never leaves you.
So Scott, real quick, okay,
Yes.
is that so my in-laws live about 20 minutes from Chris,
Mhm.
right? And they're
wow.
huge
Yeah,
Eagles
small
fans
world.
too. Yeah, it's
'Cause
crazy,
they're
right?
smart.
And okay, so they're Eagles fans also, right? When my son was first born, they're like, "Oh, my mother-in-law, she was like, hey, we're gonna send down some Eagles stuff, some Eagles gear." And my father-in-law looked over at her and was like, "No, we're not sending it down," because he knew I was a Giants fan and he knew I was going to throw it away in the garbage, right? But it's just funny, and it is seriously like I love the Mets, I love the Giants, I love the Knicks, and if he grows up an Eagles fan, which he better not, I will be upset.
After you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming up. It's not only Chris. I was gonna say it's my father-in-law too, because
Right,
every single
right.
time we're on the phone, he's like, "Go Eagles!" I'm like, "Nope, don't say it, man."
Yeah,
like
and
I
my
think you forgot
brother-in-law's
to
from
remember to-
Queens. My
Oh, is he really?
brother-in-law's from
Oh.
Queens, yeah. So he's a huge Mets fan. Now, Joe, you're
Wait.
from New York as well, right?
I'm from Queens. Yeah, I'm from
Oh,
Queens. I'm
okay.
Is he from Flushing?
Rockaway.
Where's he near? Oh, I think we talked about this before.
Yeah, we
I think
did. We
might,
did. Yeah,
yeah.
the 137th
that's-
beach or whatever.
Yep, because that's where I used to go to the beach as Rockaway Beach.
Yep. I did a couple beach days when they lived there, and those were the worst days that I was there. First of all, I hate the beach. I hate the sun. Like my complexion, I'm almost transparent. I absolutely hate the sun. So there's a picture of us. Everybody's like laying out, and I have this like where all you see is my feet hanging out because I'm like fully covered because I hate the sand. It was god awful.
I'm a canopy
And
guy.
you live in the sunshine, and so am I. And you live in the Sunshine State.
I know it's because I don't like the excessive cold. Like I like Florida winters where there's like 3 days that you have to like bundle up. You know, snow is something that you go to visit, and the country is just obnoxious with their cold.
Snow sucks. Snow was fun until I had to shovel it. Now
Yeah.
it's awful. And it's
Yeah.
it's like when I was in school and it was snow day, so much fun. You get to go sledding and everything. Now that I'm driving kids to school, like now I have to shovel off and not only do I have to shovel my driveway, then I have to go over to the parking lot and shovel off all the buses and everything with a ladder to get the snow off the top. Yeah, some of those days I question, maybe I should move down south a little bit. But you know what? That's
And
only like 6 times a year.
Yeah, and try not to kill everyone that in your car that you're driving, right? Because
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure it's like the roads are super dangerous.
Yeah, there is that. And then you get the people that go around in the rear wheel drives and think that they can go out there. They get stuck in the middle of the highways and stuff. It's a fun time out here in the winter.
Before my sister moved to Rockaway, Queens, she lived in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Okay, so she was on the 6th floor of like an apartment building and all that. And I went to visit her, and like New York is like a theme park for me. Everything is different there. Like you have designated smoking areas,
Yeah.
and you have the subway, which is like a ride, and everything is attraction. Even to the point where like they to me like opposite side parking because they're bringing in the sweeper. So
Yeah.
like Monday, Tuesday, you have to park on the up road. So we went to a Magic Knicks game, and I don't know what, but we drove. We drove to Madison Square Garden.
That's your first problem.
Well, it couldn't have been that. It wasn't. No, we took the subway to Madison Square Garden, but we drove somewhere. I don't know where it was that we drove, but we were coming back, and it was at night. Chris, we had to park like 20 blocks away to find a parking spot. We were circling Bay Ridge for about 3 hours. Like, no
You never abandon
lie.
your spot.
Well, I know, right? And we were going somewhere where we couldn't take the subway. I think we were going to visit family in Jersey. Like in Jersey, I've got a lot of family there, but you lose your parking spot if you go there. Jersey is just
Well,
armpit.
the sole reason for owning a car in the city is just to save your parking spot. If you leave that, you're not getting it back. You just gotta.
I know, right?
You just leave your car in your parking spot and just Uber everywhere.
Chris, did you hear in the Marvel What If episode? Did you see the zombie one yet?
I did. I'm all caught up. Yeah, I'm all caught
Happy
up.
makes a joke about having to go to New Jersey.
I
I
knew you were gonna say something.
I almost immediately paused it and called you.
I knew you were. Honestly, the first thing that came to mind when he made that New Jersey joke is, "Oh my gosh, I hope Scott doesn't. I hope it just glazes right over when he watches."
No, I was gonna glaze over, and it's so funny. There's so many times when people in movies or television of Jersey.
It's because they're just jealous. So they're jealous they don't live in a beautiful Garden State.
I know. Well, and How I Met Your Mother, like Ted was going to marry the one chick who lived in Jersey, and he's like, I can't move here. Like New Jersey. Like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I love New Jersey.
Oh, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. It's a great state, in South Jersey in particular, because we're smarter than people up north. We root for all the Philadelphia teams. We stay away from those New York teams. Just like your son Nick, Joe.
Dude, I just want to throw. Listen, who? You know what I'm gonna tell him, right? Is who threw snowballs at Santa? Wasn't the Giants fans?
No,
who does that? Eagles fans. Eagles fans throw snowballs at Santa.
First of all, it was batteries. Snowballs are for babies. It was D batteries.
But why can't I throw it at Santa for?
He gave us the wrong look.
Why don't you like Santa?
It's the wrong look.
He
wasn't the real one. He wasn't the real one. He was an imposter.
Joe, I got to tell you, you're onto something here. As much as I hate New Jersey, there's something that I hate more than New Jersey, and that's fans of any Pennsylvania team. Like Eagles fans.
People. It's the Pittsburgh people. The Pittsburgh people.
They're just as bad too. But Eagles fans are obnoxious. Steelers fans are obnoxious. Phillies, like Philadelphia sports, it's like you've got a prerequisite to be a fan of a Philly sports team is just to be as obnoxious as hell.
Yeah, you know what, Scott? Maybe you just need a backbone down there, Scott. Maybe you just need a backbone. Maybe you're just jealous that we all have backbones up here. You know, maybe it's because you're cheering for the same sorry teams year in and year out. All right, and maybe because we're tired of cheering for the same sorry teams year in and year out, and we were going to tell everybody else about it.
Wow, big talker! You win one Super Bowl in the last 100 years, and
it's more recent than the New York Giants up there with Daniel Jones tripping over nothing at the 20-yard line, Joe.
Look, New York sports fans are not much better. You know, Mets fans are obnoxious, Knicks fans, Yankees fans, and I'm a Yankees fan.
Yankees fans are the worst because they're like the elitists.
Red Sox fans.
Red Sox fans are pretty bad. But Yankees fans are elitists.
Okay, let's do this real quick. Who do you think has the most obnoxious fans? I think it's any New England sport. So Patriots, Red Sox, the Bruins. I think that you got to go with the Boston. They are so loud and obnoxious. And maybe that's because I'm a Yankees fan that I feel this way. But Joe, what do you?
Oh, the Philly fans for sure.
Oh no, Joe, and I think you guys will both, or Joe especially will agree with me on this one. First of all, it's a compliment, so thank you. I think Dallas Cowboy fans that don't live in Texas are the most annoying fans on the face of this earth.
Oh, because they're all bandwagon.
If you meet someone from Texas that like the Cowboys, they're the most humble, nicest people you will ever meet. I watched the Cowboys-Eagles game with Emily's extended family. They're from Texas. We watched the game over there. Eagles Cowboys, and went to an overtime, and we won an overtime. And we were going nuts, screaming, yelling at the TV. And the Cowboys were like, whoa, come on, guys. It's just a game. It's just a game. I was like, whoa. What? Eagles Cowboys, it's just a game? Yeah, right. No, so the people from Texas, they're like real down to earth, real easy going. All the people that just like the star and just like to wear the hats and still wear the Terrell Owens jerseys, they're the most obnoxious fans on this earth.
It's funny how much merchandise fan base, because like Raiders are so freaking popular. When was the last time the Raiders won anything or did it good or been relevant?
A long time ago.
It's a great question.
The fans are, first of all, the fans are fantastic there, like with their crazy costumes and all
the
that.
Black hole.
But popular. It's amazing how popular the team is. But
just
it's all
that black and silver. Yeah, exactly. Just that black and silver. You see that guy's really, really off topic, but the Raiders owner's haircut. He's a multi-billionaire and he can't even get a good haircut. Have you seen this guy?
No.
Oh my gosh! It looks like
What's his name?
it looks like when you're it's Raiders owner. It's
Just
like
Google
it's like when
Raiders owner.
it's like when your kid's small and they cut the hair of their baby doll.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He has like
exactly
a bowl cut.
like
He looks
that.
like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber.
It's really really bad, and it's like it's been like that forever. Like he has all the money in the world. He could buy probably the hair cuttery chain 3 times over.
Oh my
He
gosh.
looks like a freaking goon.
Yeah.
Wow. He looks like
Mhm.
Joe, almost my age. Remember the doll, My Buddy?
Yeah.
My buddy, wherever I
Yeah.
go, he goes. That's what this guy looks like.
Scott looks at that
Wow.
and he's happy he's bald.
I know, right? Jeez, Christ almighty. All right, we're going to go to break. Obviously, Mary's not here tonight, so Joe's filling in. I forgot to make that announcement. And also, we're testing some new software, so you may hear some different things, and just bear with us. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back. I'm scared to hit stop because I don't know what it's going to do. So we're just going to keep going, and we'll see what happens. That was a really
Okay.
good segment. I hope this all
Yeah, it was
records
fun.
and works out.
I was like, you will be on background, so just be aware of that. She's like, stupid. I'm always handing her dog treats and things that she needs to get to during the episode, so she's afraid to come in the background. No, there's no virtual background.
It's yeah.
Yes?
I don't know.
Huh? No. We're in between.
Tell everybody, big No New Friends fan. Listen to it on my commute. Finish the whole episode for once.
I was just telling them how you've been listening during your commutes.
I just finished on my way, starting on the next episode.
That we got.
Which one did you just?
Which one did you just finish, Em? The childhood trauma? Yeah, the childhood trauma one.
Oh yeah, I love that
Oh,
episode.
wait.
I thought it was a really good episode.
Tell Scott, totally related on the Willy Wonka trauma. No one else talks about that. No one. It's like,
Can you hear her?
Yeah. I know. Yeah, it's I don't know. Like some people say it's scary. I don't.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot that you can't hear
I
anything.
can't. So I'm waiting for you to mediate.
Yeah, he just agreed.
You know which one I forgot?
Sure.
I
Marge
swear,
from
everybody likes to think that scene doesn't exist.
Large Marge.
And then no one, everybody just it went out of their mind. It doesn't exist anymore.
I like that scene. I think it's settling.
It's terrifying. There's like a centipede that goes through someone's nose or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a centipede crawling across the screen.
No, I like that.
Yeah, out of the
That was
mouth.
nice
It
scene.
comes out of the mouth. The centipede comes out of the
Comes
guy.
out of the mouth. He said, comes out of somebody's mouth.
Thank you. I knew it was a body part.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's in good taste.
It's what it is.
I think it was a nice scene. By the way, these food sensitivity kits, Scott.
Oh, they came in?
Oh yeah, we can't do them.
Why?
Too scared.
Oh God. you got to wait to talk about that when
I
Mary
know,
comes
I
back.
know. Emily texted me, she's like, you have to talk about this. They're sitting on our table.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, coming back in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. We've got Joe from the Diz His podcast joining us this evening. So who knows where the topics are going to go? It may be a guys thing. It may not. I don't know. We may talk about theme parks. That whole last segment wasn't even planned. So that's the beauty of podcast magic. Now, a little housekeeping. You're hearing this episode on Sunday. We will no longer be doing episodes. So just one day a week for a while. See how that goes. We want to give you the best quality entertainment and we don't want to force 2 episodes anymore. So that's a new thing, obviously. And also testing out some new software. So we don't know, who knows what to expect here. We don't even know if this episode's going to record. So it's always
if you're hearing this, it's a good sign.
right. if not, then I don't know what to do.
I hope whoever's listening to this on the dark web, if it did not get published, I hope you enjoy it.
Right. We were talking a little bit about sports teams and all that, and this weekend was a glorious weekend. We had pro football started, and we were in week 2 of college football. Although after my team's first 2 weeks performance, I wanted to light myself on fire. So I haven't been in a good place because of that. But one bright spot to this weekend of sports was a highlight that came out of one of the college football games, and it's a highlight that to to be well, actually, you should expect for it to be huge, but that is the cat that was hanging from the rafters at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Joe, did you see this clip?
I did not. No.
So-
hold on 1 second. Actually, I do remember, and it has the flag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
they caught him in the flag.
Yeah, it was
as he
awesome.
plummets like 10 stories. Now we knew what the result was going to be because it's a caught by flag.
Right.
But could you imagine how scary that probably was? Especially if you're an animal lover.
Have you ever watched a movie over and over again? Like you watched it for more than one time? Like, I don't know, the Titanic, and that's like, come on, just make some room for Jack. And it's like
Right.
know that Jack's gonna die. So like I see the headline for this thing, a cat gets saved. I'm hoping the cat misses. I'm hoping they miss the cat and they just drop the cat.
Why?
That is
I hate
Joe.
cats.
Joe likes animal deaths too.
I hate cats. No, that video, a couple comments on that video. That was the first one. I wasn't totally convinced that they caught the cat because it was very. I had to rewatch it. The second time, I think they did more harm to that cat than the cat did to itself by wrestling it away from each other, trying to hold it up. The one guy gets it
like Simba, no.
They started wrestling. They started wrestling the cat because the one guy gets it, and then the other guy rips it out of his hand so he can hold it up because he's probably drunk as hell. And then if you rewatch again, there's a guy 20 feet away with his arms out, like he's gonna do something. If you look, if you watch that video, you'll see something different every single time. It gets funnier and funnier.
I could only watch it the one time because we've got 5 rescue animals in our house, so like it kind of broke my heart just to see this cat.
It was very sad.
Obviously they caught it and it was fine, but just how terrified this poor thing must have been. And again, Chris, I'm with you. I'm not convinced. It was kind of like Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Doom going through the canopies.
I know it looked like everyone thinks it's a great idea until they realize like how much force is coming down. Because you see these videos all the time where they catch something, it just falls out of their hands. I'm not totally convinced this cat didn't hit that concrete. Because cats are resilient anyway. It has 6 more lives after that.
Well, they land on their feet.
Yeah. Do you think the cat would have landed on its feet?
Sure, and shattered its ankles.
No,
they
they're
have
very
springs, man. Yeah, like agile.
Fine.
I just gotta change the shocks after.
Right. Hard Rock Stadium out afterwards, and they're like, we're glad to hear that we hope it enjoys the rest of its 8 lives.
Hey,
donated to the Miami Humane Society.
Oh, that's
why
cool.
was that cat there?
I was gonna say, who's bringing a cat to the football game?
Oh,
that was my other question.
Hey, I mean, look how this is like it's like Templeton in the original Charlotte's Web movie, running around the fair, eating everything. Chris, you're too young for that movie, aren't you? You know what I'm talking about. Joe knows, right? Joe, you've seen Charlotte's Web?
I've read the clip notes.
He's running around the fair eating all the junk food. He's a rat, and he's got a whole song.
I do remember Templeton.
A fair is a fair about that smart.
I don't remember.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, I do know that song. That's
and he comes rolling in he comes rolling in. Like I was the artistic inspiration for that character after he ate everything. But the cat, so much food at sporting events that just get dropped. So yeah, they're gonna wander, and just like at Disney, you got the Disney cats. Keep the rats away.
I think it was a service cat.
I was at my uncle was at a doctor appointment.
Service cat for a stormtrooper or a paratrooper.
He was at a doctor's appointment a few years ago. He's waiting in the waiting room, and he's filling out his paperwork, and out of the corner of his eye, he sees this woman bend over into her purse, and she pulls out this looks like a ball of fur, and he looks, it's a ferret, and he goes, "Excuse me, ma'am," because it was like literally right next to him. He goes, "What is that?" She goes, "It's my service animal." She had a service ferret.
A service ferret.
A service ferret. Can anything be a service animal these days?
Yes.
Really?
Now,
pretty much, I think, yeah.
I think that, Chris, and I don't know, I'm not an expert on this, but I believe that to be a certified service animal, it's a dog or it's like there's certain, but then these emotional support animals can be.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna get Joe's son an emotional support eagle since he likes eagles so much.
I'm
I
so
wish I
go
had an
free.
eagle
So there
sound
was-
effect in here.
So there was that video. Speaking about your very painful college
You
football
go to
team
jail,
loss.
Chris, for
So Scott, can you talk about that a little bit? What
No.
happened What happened? Because there's a very. Did you see what happened after the game?
With which part? With the other team flag at
No.
midfield, or
No.
the offensive lineman proposing to his girlfriend from Florida State?
I could not believe that.
Like,
They
what are you
blew
doing?
A game to a what team? Who did they lose to?
Jacksonville State, which is
Yeah, did they,
it's an FCS school, not even an FBS school.
I think they played Bishop
Time they've ever
Sycamore
lost.
last week.
That's who they played. They played Bishop Sycamore. And Chris,
Joe,
the crazy thing is, last year
I know what you're talking about.
down 14-0. 14-0. They were down to this exact same team and had to come back to win. This was the and we came off such this. So even though we lost to Notre Dame in week 1, it was a great game. We pushed them to overtime. Like, we weren't expected to do well. So it was an exciting game. We've got Mackenzie Milton starting. Like, that kid's made us relevant again. It was so exciting. And then even until the last play, I'm like, okay, we're playing Jacksonville State. We're gonna win this game. No big deal. And he catches the ball, and I'm like, it's fine. They're gonna make a tackle. There's 2 guys there. When he got into the end zone, Chris, I still didn't believe it. I said, well, there's got to be a penalty on this. Like, there's got to be a flag somewhere. Like, this didn't just happen.
Oh my gosh. For people who don't know what we're talking about, the Seminoles blew a game they should have won. And then after the game, someone on their team thought it was a great idea to propose after they just blew.
What are you doing?
Blew a game. So for a non-sports fan, that's the equivalent to like your aunt just dying, and at the funeral, right after you bury her, you propose to your girlfriend.
Exactly. That is a great analogy.
It's probably exactly the same feeling.
Like, these guys are definitely going to get married at the Waffle House. These two, with having that type of commitment to do that type of proposal. Like, what are you doing?
That was really, really bad.
Yeah. I realized that because I'm very superstitious. We've talked about this before.
Yes.
I always drink during Seminoles games. I didn't drink week 1, didn't drink week 2. Guess what I'm going to be doing week 3?
Drinking. Why not? Why didn't you drink?
I don't know. I've really tried to kind of cut through or cut out some of the alcohol. And I don't know. I just decided not to. Dumb decision. So this weekend I'm drinking, and go ahead, Chris.
Well, no, it's about drinking. So you're a very like, you're like, you just like your beer. You like your plain beers too. I feel like you like your Bud Light, right?
Yep.
So Joe is a little different, and me and Joe kind of like to explore a little bit with our alcohols. Now, when it comes to fall time or even summertime, do you ever venture out to those like limited release beers?
Yeah, no, I totally will. Not if I'm going to be doing an all day drinking. Like
Right.
It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm at dinner and I want to have a couple drinks, then explore out. For example, I love Funky Buddha Last Snow. Now, local brewery here, Chris. But at coffee porter, so freaking good.
Oh,
I
wow.
love so good. So in the cooler months, I like porters and stouts. And especially anything that's like coffee. During the summer, I like Isla Morada Pale Ale and Isla Morada Sandbar Sunday.
Okay.
In the Keys, Isla Morada. And if you mix the two together, it's called No Tan Lines. Freaking fantastic. During October, I'll drink some Oktoberfest.
That's what I was interested in.
Beer.
Like what's your
do
fall
not
stuff?
like pumpkin beer.
Okay.
I'll drink some Oktoberfest, but pumpkin beer, so great.
I love pumpkin beer. I went to the Renaissance Fair a couple years ago, and it's got to be a good pumpkin beer. I don't really like the spice in the beer. So if it's a beer with like just that pumpkin flavor, I went to a sports bar the other day and I got a pumpkin hard cider. And I didn't want to tell you, Scott, because I just knew how mad you'd be at me for getting like a pumpkin spice cider. so I didn't say anything. But I'm saying it now, and it was delicious. And now there's a 6-pack in my fridge, and I'm not afraid to say it anymore.
Chris, let me explain something. You can do no wrong. It's not as fun to give you a hard time.
Can we clip
it's
that?
more fun
Can we clip that?
with Mary.
So my go-to fall things. I would like. You ever go into like a I don't know. Did you have AC Moore's down there when AC Moore was a thing, or Michael's, or
we have Michael's
craft
Home
stores?
Goods.
Yeah, not Home
Michael's.
Goods so much, but like when you walk
Craft
into
stores.
Michael's, and you get that cinnamon broom smell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, anything that tastes like that, I love in the fall. Like
I do like cinnamon stuff.
Yeah, when you blend that up, like when you put that cinnamon broom in the blender, and like I just had I went to Smoothie King the other day, and I got the broomstick pumpkin smoothie, and it was delicious.
It's like they bottle up fall, right?
Exactly. Anything that tastes like the embodiment of fall is just my favorite. So put that in a beer, put that in anything, and that's my thing. That's why I was wondering if you like so at least you drink Oktoberfest. At least you get out of your comfort zone a little bit.
I do love craft beers, but again, I'm not going to craft beer it up when I'm going to be drinking hard.
We live in the ultimate time. Yeah, but we live in like the best time for beer.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
True.
Absolutely. When did all these craft breweries pop up? They came out, and I feel like I woke up one morning and there was like a dozen of them in my neighborhood.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Came out of nowhere.
It was just domestics and imports. That's all we knew. And then all of a sudden it's now every beer has 18,000 beers on tap, and then another 60,000 bottles to choose from. Like their beer menu is now larger than their food menu.
We went through a renaissance of beer. I feel like you go to the liquor store. I don't know about your liquor stores down there, but you go to a liquor store and it's like it's overwhelming. It's like a candy store for adults.
It is, and
it's amazing. It's just like look hundreds of years ago when they had to drink warm beer. Now we can we can drink pumpkin beer. Yeah, mead. Now we can choose between like coffee or pumpkin beer.
Yeah, it is a wonderful time to be alive, outside of the pandemic, but it's a wonderful time to be alive. Joe, what's your favorite beer?
My favorite beer, I would have to say my favorite beer with Sam Adams. I love Sam Adams.
Okay.
I love Sam Adams
but I drink
too.
anything. If it has alcohol in it, I'm gonna go ahead and drink it. I rarely come across a beer I'm like, I don't want this. This is just nasty. Because I think all beer is pretty much nasty in a way. Sorry.
It is.
They can be. Hey, Joe, I'm with you. Beer, except for IPA. IPA, I like. Not gonna like it, but any beer I can drink at least one. It's to drink that second one.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm gonna say I like High Life, and that's an IPA, right? But I really do like High Life.
Yeah,
you don't like it, right?
No. That's Cigar City, which is in like the Tampa area, brewery in Tampa area. I like the Cigar City Maduro is real good, which is a brown ale, very good beer. The Schofferhofer, the grapefruit beer that you can buy in Germany at Disney. When the pandemic first started, Joe, I stocked up on just that beer. I would put like Disney background music on and drink Schofferhofer just so I could have that feel that I was at the theme parks.
We actually, this past Sunday was my wife's and I 12-year anniversary.
Wow, congratulations.
So we had like a Disney day. Yeah, thank you. And so what we did, we kind of created some of our favorite Disney meals at home. And we actually had the grapefruit beer. And we kind of took a picture holding it, and we had the Epcot ball in the background.
Joe is underplaying this because that was the highlight of my day, is going through that album on Facebook that Mel put up. It was they literally woke up and made Mickey waffles. Take us through that day, Joe, because that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then you incorporated Nick into it too.
Let's do that when we come back from break, because I want to talk all about theme parks. Since we have Joe from the Diz His podcast, we might as well talk about theme parks, which was my whole point of tonight, and we just never got there until the third segment. So that's the way these things. Yeah, that's the way these things go sometimes. But I want to give a shout out real quick to a listener, Liz, who lives down the road from me. So we've got these. I've got a 9-year-old, and they've got a squad. It's like 4 girls, and what they do is they come up to whatever house they're playing at. They go up to that parent. Don't come by themselves. It's not just the kid. It's like, so here, it's my daughter, and she brings a friend, and they're like, hey, can we have a sleepover tonight? Like, they put you on the spot. So like, we had to take control over this. So we have this friend gang where we're rotating houses and all that. But Liz, is a neighbor, and she's a huge fan of our podcast. She was dropping the girls off one day, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, coffee maker!" And I'm so glad it's working, and I know what yellow sounds like too. And I'm like, "Oh, you listen to our show."
That's awesome.
So shout out to Liz. It was an exciting
Shout
moment.
out, Liz. That's amazing.
You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back. Yeah, it was really cool. She was
so
she was like
funny.
referencing stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." Like, I love that stuff.
That's cool.
All right, we're gonna get right back into it, and yeah, let's just make this a theme park segment.
Perfect.
Joe, yeah, let's break down your anniversary, and then if we have time, we'll kind of talk about, you know, I was kind of wanting to go like like hell moments with our kids. And Chris, I know you don't have any kids. That was what I thought it was gonna go, and I thought it'd be funny, but I really like talking about the anniversary, so let's definitely do that.
Okay.
All right, Chris, you ready?
Yep.
All right, coming back in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. Mary is still out, so Joe from the Diz His podcast is with us. As always, you know where to find us. Our Linktree link is right there in the show notes, the episode description. Please connect with us. We love connection. We need that human interaction from miles away through a computer where we don't actually have to see you. And if you listen to us on Apple, please make sure you leave us a rating and a 5-star review. That really helps us out and moves our little icon up higher in the search engine. Now, right before we went to break, Joe was starting to tell us anniversary where they did a Disney day at home, and I'm so excited. I did see a couple pictures, but I wasn't following it as closely as Stalker Chris was. So tell us all about that.
So we woke up and my wife made Mickey waffles for us. And so we had Mickey waffles for breakfast. Then for lunch, we had the cheeseburger egg rolls that you can find over at Magic Kingdom over in Adventureland. So we kind of made those homemade. We got the egg roll wrappers, got the meat, did the whole thing homemade, and it was delicious. And my son, one of his favorite meals, because he's 7, is the corn nuggets over at Casey's Corner. So my son Nicholas, he drew like the Casey Corner logo, and he kind of like hung it up in the kitchen. And then he made his corn nuggets. So we kind of ate at Casey's Corner, which was really cool. Then for dessert, we didn't have dessert that day. We were going to make Mickey pretzels, and we figured we were just going to have too much food. So we didn't go through with the Mickey pretzels. We were going to make homemade Mickey pretzels. We're going to do that this weekend. But for dinner, we made Ohana noodles. So noodles from Ohana.
Oh, nice.
And it was all right. Yeah. And then my
Joe,
son...
I just want to say about the Ohana noodles. I love the brutal honesty from your wife. As she was like, we made it, but it wasn't that good.
It wasn't that good. It was the sauce was very overpowering. It was good.
Okay.
I ate it, and we have like a whole bunch left over. I'm going to eat it for lunch. And I'm kind of hoping it's going to taste better leftovers, right?
I'm looking at pictures right now. Your son set up a merchandise shop. That's awesome.
That was
He
amazing.
did.
Awesome.
So right after lunch, he set up like a merchandise shop, so we all got to go through. And we bought Mickey ears that we already owned, right? But he had like Disney shirts there, Disney toys there, and that was a lot of fun. And I think that I think he set up like a little like station where we would go with like a fake cash register, and we bought the Mickey waffles from him. Also.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a really cool day. And then the Ohana noodles, they were good. And for dessert, we had Mickey ice cream bars.
I see the Mickey ice cream bars, and then the Schofferhofer.
Yep. We took pictures in front of the castle.
That's so cool. Did you ride any of the rides on YouTube or anything?
We actually did. We all picked like 3 rides each.
Awesome.
So I picked Slinky Dog, Big Thunder, and Mine Train. My wife, I forget which one she picked, and my son picked a couple rides too. So we did do that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
It was a great day.
Joe, you should put those. I'm not going to tell you how to run your podcast, but you should throw those pictures on the Diz His Facebook page. Just to add some added content.
I do. We posted it in Patreon, but I do need to go ahead and post that.
Yeah, people
on
would love
Facebook
that.
Page too. Yeah, you're right. Because that was a great day. Maybe I will go and do that.
That's so
you
cool.
You should pretend you're doing it live. Then no one will know.
Yeah. Kind of relive that day.
Yeah.
Say that I'm kind of doing it live. Yeah.
And it's funny. I did similar things, not nearly as extravagant at the beginning of the pandemic as well. Sorry, let me just start that again. My 9-year-old has never been to Disney.
Jeez.
So
really?
Yeah, we sat down, tubed old attractions old attractions that she may not like. Splash Mountain. I don't know if she's gonna get to see Splash Mountain. So we rode Splash Mountain, and we rode Jaws, and we rode, and other defunct attractions. Just one of the things that we did, and I was gonna also, I was gonna set up because everybody was doing like the rides at home at the beginning. Like I remember everybody was making ride videos, and some of them were really, really good. Well, I still have the Jaws spiel memorized, so we were the Jaws spiel at home, and we were gonna just do it all in one take and have like little flame effects and just different things. We just never got around to it because I thought I was gonna have to start working from home, so I thought I was gonna have all this extra time, and my boss didn't care about COVID because he was best friends with our president. Anyway, and so I still had to work, so I didn't have time. But that was something that, and then a gentleman by the name of Mike Aiello beat me to it. Mike Aiello is like the show producer for all of Halloween Horror Nights. He started at Jaws, decades ago. So he did it, and I'm like, well, now I can't do it. It's not going to be as good.
Mhm.
Oh, Scott, did you work for Jaws?
Yes.
Oh,
You didn't know that?
No, I had no idea.
Stop it. Jerk. Chris, what kind of things what theme park related things did you do at the beginning of the pandemic, if any?
It's fun. I started listening to Diz His.
Oh, that's
when I
right.
started.
Yeah,
That's when I started. But also, I think me and Emily started this. I think it was during the pandemic. We found this YouTuber that records himself at the park. His name is Paging Mr. Morrow. And he just put out a video the other day about his life and his upbringing and everything. He had a very sad, dark life, and he found happiness in going to the theme parks, so much so that he moved from Pennsylvania down to Florida. And then he started recording himself going to the parks, and he devoted his he's devoting his life to making these videos. He quit his job. He's making enough money on YouTube to make these videos, but his main purpose of them is everything that he does is positive. So watching these like super, super positive videos during the pandemic were so uplifting and made us like so happy and stuff. And the fact that like we don't get down there very often. So living through this guy was really fun, and like kind of just took our mind off of everything. But just I love Disney vloggers. I think they're like some of the most fun, and there's so much to do there. I love watching people eat at Disney. I love watching them go on the rides and stuff. It's because like I can't do this stuff like you guys can. Like you guys could literally like, hey, you want to go to Disney tomorrow? Yeah, let's go. I have to, me. I think I told this story before. Me and Emily saved $20 a week for 2 years to go to Disney because it's just so expensive to get down there.
Right. Well, now again, because I live 20 minutes away, you don't have to stay in a hotel.
I know. Trust me, I'm already.
That's going to save you a ton of money.
I got this big event coming up in about a month or so. So after that, I'm gonna start planning the Florida trip, and I just can't wait to get down there because I just want to escape COVID up here. So it's like I think once I get through Georgia, I think that's how it works. It's just I'm immune, Florida, right?
Place for instead of urban area proceed with caution, there's be signs before you come into the state of Florida. Just COVID caution.
What was that movie with the District 19 or something where it's like they just that holds that's going to be Florida pretty soon.
Right. No, I think
District 9 once you get through the once you cross the border of Georgia into Florida, your mask just disintegrates off your face and you're just in the land of the of the
it's illegal to wear it here. Yeah.
Hey, real quickly, so Chris mentioned he started listening to the Disney's podcast during the pandemic, and let me tell you something, right? I pretty much talk to Chris every day. We talk with each other, right?
Yeah,
Alex and I, we talk to Chris every day, multiple times a day.
That's so. Go ahead.
It's cool how all of us became friends. Like all of us became friends really because of COVID. I mean, one way or another, I feel like it just because that was the coolest thing about COVID. That was one of the positive things that came out of the pandemic. Was I think it got everyone more connected. Everyone got closer.
I agree. I was
more
checking
connected on people I didn't talk to.
Yep. Through Facebook video and Zoom, like especially at the beginning of the pandemic, I was like, I kind of don't want this to end because like my wife and I were playing beer pong with my sister and my brother-in-law, from, miles away, just through Zoom, and I was like, this is so cool.
But I think that there's the majority of people we use this time to connect with our family, right? I think a lot of people didn't do that. Everyone was so quick to get back to like normal life
Right.
Mhm.
that they didn't really slow down and be like, you know something, and spend time with the people who are most important, right? Just like you're
That's
saying
true.
that you connected with would you say your brother-in-law, was it, over Zoom
My
playing
sister
beer
and my
pong?
brother-in-law. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how cool is that, right? And I
Mhm.
don't think a lot of people did that. Everyone was just so quick to get back to normal life. I can tell
Yeah.
you, last year I was with my wife and my son every day, right? And some people that would be like miserable for them. I loved it, and I miss my wife. She went back to work face to face, like teaching, and I miss my wife. I just wish people would have slowed down a little bit because
Yeah.
everyone was just so quick to get back to normal.
No, I
That's
agree
for
with you.
sure.
like
Yep.
The
for me,
the thing with the connectedness and the disconnectedness, it showed people's true colors, because it showed businesses true colors. It's kind of like, it was really cool when like Zoom would drop their premium subscription for a while,
Yeah.
so you could have unlimited video calls. And then it was, I don't know, it's just, we learned, I feel like we learned who our true friends and family were doing this, and that was that was like I think a positive thing that came out of this. And I think we all became better from it too. Some people we saw, got worse for it, and we know that. And then other people just became better people. And I thought it was cool, because we went through like a lot of changes, but some for worse, obviously, but a lot for the better, which was cool.
Yeah. Exacerbated people's tendencies. It either brought out the
Mm-hmm.
best in people or brought out the worst in people.
100%. Yep.
But
100%.
for our listeners who don't know, and I don't know if we've told just kind of how this connection happened. So we had Remy from Remy's Roundtable on as a guest, and he's like, "Well, I do this second podcast. It's called Diz Journey." And I was confused by the whole thing. I was like, "Wait, so is it Diz his?" He said, no, that's a different podcast. And I'm like, "Well, what is it called?" He goes, "Diz Journey." I'm like, "Well, I'm looking for Diz Journey. I don't." He's like, no, it's Remy's Round. Complete confusion. So Remy invites Mary and I on that night. Mary and I come on, and we had a blast, by the way. And that's where I met Joe and Chris. And like, I knew I wanted to have all those guys on as guests, and Chris just happened to be the first one. And I was like, "Hey, is Diz going to be mad if you and then he's like, I'm not really a member, like I'm not on the Diz his show." I'm like, "Oh, okay, so you were just like chilling?" He's like, "Yeah, we're supposed to play video games, and that's how we met Chris, is just podcast. And then Joe and I have become good friends just by bouncing ideas off each other. I'm not a technology guy, so like Joe helps me out with different things, and it's just I tell my wife all the time, this podcasting world is such a cool world, because
Yeah.
it's like we're all content creators, we're all busting our asses to be discovered, or to be heard, or to have our art be seen. And so it's like-minded who are striving for the same goal, and just kind of helping each other out that goal.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree with you anymore. It's really cool, because we live in such a cool time where we have like the most powerful tool ever created in all of our pockets, and we can use it for, to scroll through Instagram for hours.
That
We get to
was
do stuff like this.
that was the sex coach episode ago, Chris.
Oh.
and what am
Next
I
to that
supposed
tool,
to
we have a cell phone. And glad we had the crickets live, so we can actually hear
Yeah,
that
you were
live.
just waiting to use it. You were just waiting to use it the whole
Oh
episode.
yeah. Oh yeah. But it's great that we can it's like, go back even 10 years from now. We would never be able to do any of this. If we wanted to have our own radio show, it's like, okay, then good luck, have fun with that pipe dream. But now anyone can have their own show.
You're gonna start nights and
it gets out to
weekends and get
people.
paid $8 an hour.
And you pay us. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but it's really cool. I'm glad that we all got so close over all this, and it was just one of the bright spots that came out of all this. And we came out all healthy, and that's even more important, obviously.
So Joe, what do we have to look forward to on Diz His?
So tomorrow we are going to be recording. We're going to be talking about the Disneyland Hotel over in California. Yeah, have you been there?
That'll be the episode that comes out this coming up Tuesday. So in 2 days, Disneyland Hotel. No, I haven't been to Disneyland. It's on my bucket list to visit all the sister parks.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about Disneyland Hotel. That episode is going to be dropping on September 21st.
Gotcha. So exactly 2 days after this episode drops.
Yeah, and we have a bunch of things coming up on our show. We're actually going to have. I'm not sure if you know who Equity Ben is. You know who Equity Ben is?
I do not.
So he was over at Hollywood Studios. He did the Frozen sing along, and he was
Okay.
like one of the top guys there. Like, people were going just to see him, and we're actually going to have him on in October sometime. So
Oh,
that's
cool.
really exciting. Yeah.
That's
So we're really
awesome. Yeah.
excited. He's
Scott,
hilarious.
he won the Orlando Weekly. He won two whatever it is, two categories.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, for best local comedian and best local.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Oh yeah,
talent,
best local
maybe.
actor or something like yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's a big deal.
It's really cool. Diz Hiz gets these amazing guests. You know, a former Imagineer, this guy who's won different awards and all that. Get the guy who got his legs chopped off by the sunrail. Like that's what we're striving.
Did that
for.
really happen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that wasn't satire. That was real. And we're still trying to get him on. We have our intern on that.
Yeah, we're working on it. Well, guys, make sure you check out the Diz Hiz podcast. It's a fantastic show, especially if you love Disney. They deep dive in attractions, restaurants, movies, television, just any aspect of Disney they cover, and it's one episode. It is fantastic, and they've had some super great guests on there. On episode number 120 is coming out next week. And I was on the episode 118, which was the history of Captain EO, and
That was fun.
it was fun. Those entire audience turned on me, so because I disagreed with
don't. They
Joe
don't
on a
hate
couple
you.
of the. I know, I'm just messing. As always, please make sure you connect with us. Follow all of our links right there in the episode description, the show notes, and remember, if you join our Patreon between the end of November, we're going to be donating all that money to the Gina McReynolds Foundation. That's teamgina.org. So please join our Patreon. On behalf of Joe, Chris, I'm Scott. We'll see you next time. Cool. All right. I'm going to stop the record with
We're done.
all of. Yeah, we're.
Didn't thrown off because Mary. No, but Mary didn't do the okay bye, so I was thrown off.
What's really
Joe, man,
cool? Oh wow, it's got a timer, 51 minutes. Cool.
Wow, that is cool. I could
Yeah,
see my thing was uploading the whole time.
Yes, that's the exciting thing. So when we get done on Zoom, it could take up to 2-3 hours for the audio to convert. Now it's almost done. It's at 99%.
Wow, I have a
Yeah,
question.
because I think it's doing it during the episode.
Right.
Correct.
I have a question.
Yes.
Was the audio and video quality bad for you guys as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Really?
Scott lagged a handful of times. A couple of your visuals were really bad a couple times, but again, it doesn't matter because it's recording live. And I was able to understand what you were saying. I did get nervous because I don't know if you caught that, Joe. I don't know if it was on your end too. Scott was saying something and he really lagged very.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
it too.
yeah, it was that Mets comment. Yeah. But then I was able to pick up on what you were saying.
I didn't see any of that. Now, at one point, I heard that, like, when the internet connection goes bad and you hear that, like, metallic sound.
Mhm.
I did hear that on somebody, but the cool thing is, as long as it didn't do it on your end, it's not going to pick up in the recording.
Yep,
like that.
exactly. Because you're not really using this for video. You're using it just for the audio.
Right,
Correct.
right.
I mean, it is uploading and audio, so I'll play around with that.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. So, Joe, I'll let you know how it goes, and
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm excited about it. Hopefully,
And I'm not sure if you noticed this. I'm not sure if you noticed, but one point your video went off, and it said in the top right, it said that Scott's your internet connection was kind of unstable, so so it shut off your video.
Huh? Yeah, that happened to
camera.
It said that on my end, it happened to Jared.
I saw it on Jared as well. Yeah, but it said it's still being recorded.
Right, because that's the funny thing. So, go ahead.
I said I'm not surprised it was shown on my end because there's a few times where I physically went out of it, even though I could still hear you guys, but I physically went out of the app and I was looking at something else, so it turned off my camera. So so mine was not so much of an internet issue; it's that I physically went out of the app entirely, and Scott, the reason I mentioned earlier about Grammys Roundtable, you need to listen to the odd one that just dropped.
Okay.
Listen to all the way through, and there's a big announcement that I had to remind Remy on
Okay.
as a result of myself and Remy's roundtable.
Okay.
Oh well, can you
will
break the
take a-
news here for us?
If you want to break it now, I'll break it.
Break it.
So last Friday, the 5-minute professor was on Remy's roundtable. I did. The quiz was on war tanks.
Okay.
So we did the quiz. I did really well. When we were on break, Remy tells me, "Okay, it's official. You are now officially a part of Remy's roundtable." So I'm now part of. I'm now officially part of Remy, Chris. I'm looking forward to bash Dane a little bit in the head.
That's
well,
awesome, man.
congratulations, Jared. That's
yeah.
really cool.
Then
That show,
the-
that's
Congratulations.
So now I can officially say, when it comes to this, actually could have been more perfect because now for our fantasy league, if I win now, whoever loses has to buy Remy's roundtables merchandise.
Yeah, there you go.
You're a
There you go.
podcaster now.
Awesome.
Welcome aboard,
Congratulations, man.
Jared.
That's awesome.
That's great, Jared. That's awesome.
But I
Yeah, it's
still
awesome,
say
Jared.
I just still say just listen to the episode all the way through because it
Okay.
was really
Yeah, I
interesting
will.
while we were.
I will definitely check that out. Yeah, it's cool. I've got a timer in the studio portion that I can see. Okay, we've been recording for 56 minutes and 3 seconds.
That's
really
awesome. That's a
cool.
good time
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Let me title this.
All right,
So
guys.
despite that-
No, go ahead, Jared.
I'll say I was agreeing with you entirely, Chris. That there was a few times where on Scott his internet was kind of lagging out, but it didn't really affect him not too badly on his audio.
Mhm.
Just
Hey, you guys, you said the funny?
What?
Oh, hold on. This is nothing. I'll tell you guys later.
Okay.
So watch this guy. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. Look at this guy go. They're gonna remove this guy. Oh, they removed him. I'm sorry. Right now they're doing like a school board meeting, and this guy's like this, talking to our superintendent. He's like, "You will look at me, sir. You will look at me." And the superintendent sitting there writing notes, you know. And in the middle of him like talking, whatever, he's like, "Sir, you're gonna have to leave. You're gonna have to leave. Sorry."
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Very much. And Joe, thanks for stepping in, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me on. It was fun. It
Yeah.
was a blast.
Thank you. I know how this works with this recording.
Yeah, let me know how the video turns out too. Let
Yeah,
me
I
know
will.
if it actually recorded on our own side, like our HD quality video, or if
Yeah.
it cut out.
I'll let you know for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this turns out.
Yep.
I think it'll turn
And-
out great because this is made for this. So
Yeah. And if it doesn't, Chris, then it's you and I tomorrow night. Just
It should
because I know
work,
you-
and if it doesn't,
Yeah.
I can come back on too if you want, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, of course. All
Yeah.
right.
So
Cool.
I just got the notification that my headset's gonna die. So
Okay.
it's perfect
All right.
timing.
See you guys. Thank you.
okay.
Later, guys.